I graduated from the U.S. Army's Red Team Leader course in 2015, and then I started working with Red Team organizations in other countries and other agencies in the U.S. Marine Corps, with some of the three-letter agencies in the United States, with the British military, and with the Australians, New Zealand. At this point, red teaming was really pretty much confined to the military and intelligence community. And I started talking to everybody and learning from everybody as part of my research for the book. And as I did this, and as I would have calls with different people and say, hey, I heard this from the head of the red teaming program in New Zealand, and is this something you guys do? And I heard this from the head of the Marine red teaming schools. Is this something that you guys do in the Army? And as I did this, I was having a conversation one day with Brigadier Tom Longland, who at the time was leading the red teaming program for the Ministry of Defense in the United Kingdom, and great guy, former tank commander. And I was bouncing a couple of ideas off of him that I'd heard from the heads of other programs in one in the US and one in New Zealand. And I said, are these things that you have considered adding or, stuff? And he said, I'll never forget this, Marcus. He said, Bryce, you've just uncovered the dirty secret of red teaming worldwide. And I said, what is it? And he said, none of us talk to each other. He said, I know who all these people are that you're talking about, but I haven't met any of them. And they haven't met me. And he said, it's really unfortunate because we all are kind of in our own milieus developing this amazing capability, but we're not sharing best practices. We're not sharing innovative ideas. And he said, one of the greatest services you could do as part of writing your book is if you could figure out a way to bring everyone together. And this is that. This is something that I hope will do that. Yeah, because one of the things, as you know, Marcus, that's one of the core red teaming principles that we teach our clients and our students is it's an ancient Japanese proverb. None of us is as smart as all of us. So it doesn't matter how many cool tools and techniques we develop at Red Team Thinking. It doesn't matter how many cool things that the Australians develop in their red teaming program. We've helped them with that. It doesn't matter if we aren't learning from each other. We're missing a trick here because we're the capability, what red teaming and red team thinking could be, is the sum of these things would be so much greater than the individual parts.
Yeah, I know. We've almost got this red teaming diaspora, haven't we, spread across the globe in these little pockets everywhere. And I find that red teaming is often like leadership. It's tough at the top. It's a lonely place to be. And if you're that individual who's been through one of the training courses or you've gone back to your organization as the red team champion, nobody's doing this as a full-time job. We understand that. And if you're trying to do this on the side of your desk kind of level as well, on top of everything else, A, it can be quite taxing. B, it's very lonely and you're often individualized in the organization. So if you've got that ability to reach out, and I know where we've worked with clients who've got their people spread across the globe and then we've come back together for like a retreat session, the joy on their faces when they see each other and they all literally walk in the room and spend 2 days in a year having not spoken, formally about red teaming for so long. It's pure elation. And then obviously what they're sharing with each other, what they've been doing, because as we talk about, these tools aren't processes. Nobody takes these tools and uses them step by step by step. If they do, they don't understand them. What these people are doing is going away and freestyling and making them adaptive to their organization, understanding how they work with the different problems and challenges their sectors bring, and they're all very different. But all of that can be shared and used in other different areas and remolded. But that only happens if you know about that. If only somebody goes, hey, I tried it this way, and you go, as you said, I never thought of that. And going back to what you were saying, Bryce, it doesn't matter how smart, clever, intelligent, how often you use these tools. If you just don't know because you've not had the opportunity, but someone else does, just that sharing of that knowledge and that utilization of the way something's been, created or crafted around a certain problem is worth absolute gold. And then you can go away and take that and use that with your clients and your organization. And I think having this community coming together and just having people able to be reached out to and contacted and sharing information. Like I'm out in Cyprus. I'm on some local Brits in Cyprus expat group. And it's great if I want to go and get my tires changed instead of going around and ringing around because nobody's got websites here. You're trying to find places. You just ring up and go, hey, where's a decent place? Who's not going to, extort me? And you get the information and then you can go back and share things with others. So it's really beneficial, I think. And as the good brigadier said, this is about sharing the knowledge of highly capable individuals who are unearthing and discovering great things as they go through their journey together, whether that's personal and professional. And I think bringing this together is a real hub for that.
And this cognitive capability that we call red team thinking is something that's continually evolving, continually growing. If you look at my book, which came out in 2017, I would say at least 50% of it, we've changed how we do it, or we've replaced tools with other tools, or we've created new tools. Just in the 5 years, almost 6 years now since it came out, and that's just because every time that we work with a client and use these tools, teach them these tools, every time that we lead a class and teach another group of students how to do this, we're constantly learning from that experience. We're red teaming ourselves. And we're continuing to develop this. And I know that other red team thinkers around the world are doing the same thing. And so continually evolving this this capability, continually expanding this methodology, continually developing new tools and techniques and approaches is such a powerful thing. And it's so key, as I said, to doing what we're really trying to do here, which is to create this movement, this insurgency. And I use the term insurgency because some of our listeners and viewers will have heard us talk about this before, but I recognize some haven't. This goes back to when I graduated from the University of Foreign Military and Cultural Studies at Fort Leavenworth at the Command and General Staff College, the Red Teaming School. The head of the program at the time told our graduating class something that was really powerful. And he said, you've all been brought here and told, we're going to teach you how to think critically. We're going to give you applied critical thinking and groupthink mitigation techniques that you can use to help stress test strategies and improve plans and look at situations more three-dimensionally, think about how things could go wrong to avoid failure, all these things. And that's all true, he said. But that's really the cover story. He said what this school was set up to do was to create, and then the term gave me chills the first time I heard it, to create an intellectual insurgency within the U.S. military, to change the way the organization thinks, to make it a thinking organization, a learning organization, an adaptive, a resilient organization. And what I have done and what you've done since you started working with me is to take and try to spread that insurgency, that intellectual insurgency outside the military, outside the intelligence community, to businesses, to nonprofits, to governments all around the world, and to help expand it. Because, as I said, I firmly believe that this is what is lacking in the world today more than anything, and this is what can solve so many of the problems that we're dealing with. The only way we're going to get through things, whether it's pandemics or climate change or the war in Ukraine, is to think our way through it.